Good morning. Good morning. I bought me 2 big bags of collards, and I am going to stir fry those today for lunch. And what I like to do when I get a bag of collards, sometimes, you know, they put these stems in them, and so I like stems. Don't get me wrong, I like them. But some of them are just too big. Let me see if these look good. Here's one that's too big. I'll show it to you. Like that thing they've stuck in there. So all I do is just do this. And I save that for the chickens. Y'all doing good this morning? I am. I'm ready for the day. I am ready for the day. I'm going to stir fry these in a big skillet that I've got right over here. That one right there is tall. And the reason I'm going to do that in that skillet is it's going to cook down. You won't have many collards when it's left. But if you hadn't tried stir-fried collards, they are totally different now than boiled collards. They are. And so I'm going to look through this bag, and if I see a big old stem like that, I really don't want it in there. So I'm going to set it to the side. But most of them look good. See there? There's not many stems in this, so I'm excited about that. And I bought 2 bags because I'd love to have some that have a few leftovers. I want some leftovers, y'all. And so that's what I'm doing with this. But I'm going to give the chickens these stems. They will like them. I'll walk over there today, maybe this afternoon, and do that. I was reading some of the text and stuff on some other videos that I wrote, and y'all are asking some really super good questions and things like that, and you're telling me a lot of good stuff too, and I appreciate that. Y'all, we're working together to help America. You're part of this. You are part of it. Every time you comment on my post and other people read it, then you're helping somebody else. I don't want you to forget that. Because y'all always say, Brenda, you've got a ministry. Well, you do too. You do too. You're helping me, and I'm helping you, and we're helping everybody. So that's good. We're telling what we know. As a matter of fact, the other day, I've forgotten what I cooked now. I'm trying to think what it was. I don't even recall. But I can't remember. But anyway, y'all wrote in a bunch of suggestions of things that you put in your dish, and I read every one of them. I thought, well, that sounds so good. It sounds good. So I know you're in your kitchen this morning, and you're sitting around and drinking your coffee and having a good day, and I'm sure you've already got your day planned just like I do. Y'all aren't going to believe how far these cook down. When you cook them, I mean, they cook down a lot. I want to show y'all something that Mark Lowry brought me the other day. He and Carleen. Let me get it out. I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if you've ever seen them this big. I've never seen them this big before. They stopped by New Orleans on their way from Houston to come here, and he brought me this, and he brought me some really good type of sausage stuff. Those things right there is a bag of them. And they're called cracklings, but I've never seen a crackling quite this big before. A crackling is a piece of the hog. Give them up here close to me where I can talk to you. It's a piece of the hog, and right here, you see the hog skin right there. And on this side, you've got some meat and some fat. And it's called a crackling. Now, I buy them, but I've never seen them like this. I guess you just eat these. I've already been eating them in the bag. There's another one. It's got a lot of good skin on it. But anyway, what you do is, I like to put them in cornbread to make crackling cornbread. But that skin right there is so good. Thank you, Mark and Carleen, for bringing these to me. They're real good. And a lot of people that want something crunchy and a good snack, that can't eat potato chips because they're on that keto diet. I think they can't eat, that's right, Eddie. They can't eat potato chips. They can eat cracklings. They can eat these on the keto diet. You gotta have good teeth, though, I can tell you that. That's the meat part, and it's crunchy too. But there's the skin right there. They're really super good, John. You can buy cracklings in your grocery store. You just have to look for them. I mean, you can in the South. Let me put it that way. You can in the South. Okay, I'm going to finish deboning. I feel like I'm deboning. I'm going to get these bigger stems out of here like that. I just don't want them. And if you want to cook yours, honey, you just go right ahead. But here's what I've got so far that I'm going to give to the chickens. Let's go over here and start frying them as soon as I get this done. My skillet's getting hot. I'm cutting up 2 medium-sized onions because you're going to stir fry those in the black skillet. We're going to stir fry them in with it. And you're talking about giving it a good flavor. If you haven't tried this, y'all, it's a winner. You got to cut up some onions to go in it. But we want to be healthy, don't we? Okay, now we're going to stir fry these, and I'm going to do mine with olive oil. You can use bacon grease if you'd like to, or coconut oil, or whatever. So I'm going to put, there's probably like 6 or 7 tablespoons in there, something kind of like that. And all you do is put your collards in. Y'all, this is just one bag. I'm going to do the other bag too. There's a stem I didn't get. Okay. Now we're going to turn it down low. I had it on high. We're going to turn it on about 3. And I'm going to put 1 onion on top of this. Like that. And you want to go ahead and salt it because the salt's going to pull out the juice in there. Put a little extra olive oil over the top. And while this is cooking down, I'm going to do the other bag. So I want to do like this. You got to turn real low. You want to top on it because we're going to smother those down and we're going to start like fried in that olive oil. Okay, so let me do the other one. Okay, I'm going to stir these a little. Well, I'm not actually going to stir them. I'm going to flip it a little bit. When it starts cooking down some, take a spoon and try to get the ones on the bottom on the top. And they'll be cooking down. See, they're already cooking down while I'm still taking the stuff off of these. Okay. They're doing real good. Put your top back on there. And let me finish this part. Okay, I think it's cooked down now enough. I had to go put me on the apron with all this popping going on. I don't want to ruin my blouse. I want you to look at how low this has gotten. And this is why I tell you, when you think you're buying this huge bag of collards, it's going to cook down. I want you today, during your spare time, to, now we can put these in, see? I want you during your spare time today to look up collards. What you can do is just ask Siri. You can say, tell me the nutritional value of collards. C-O-L-L-A-R-D-S. Some of y'all said you didn't even know what a collard was. yesterday when I went to the grocery store, two ladies came up to me. One of them was the mother, and one of them was the grandmother. The children weren't with them, but the husband was with them. One husband was with them. I think it was the grandmother's husband. She was with them at the grocery store. And they got to talking to me about collards, because I was buying collards, so they wanted to know what I was going to do with them. They were black ladies that watch me. I have all kinds of people that watch me. And these two were really super sweet. And here's my other onion I'm going to put on it. See, I'm putting 2 onions because I did 2 bags of collards. All right, I'm going to have to let that cook down, see, before I can even stir it. Anyway, they were talking to me about collards and how I was going to do them. And she told me that all they ever did was just boil them in water. And I said, I've done that too. I said, but I want you to try the stir fry. She said, I will. I'm going to try it because I watch you all the time. She said, when are you doing it? I said, I don't know. In the next few days, I'm going to be doing it. She said, well, I'm getting on there and I'm going to watch you do it. And then I'm going to try it that way because she said, I love collards with crunchy cornbread. I said, I do too. That's one of my favorite. So anyway, what I want y'all to do is to look up collards. I want you to look it up, and I want you to see about the nutritional value. They are really high in so many nutrients that you need. They are natural. This is just collards and an onion and some olive oil. And you've been saying, oh, we want to eat healthy. Well, here it is, honey. Here it is. And I'm going to cook some other things with it to go with it today. I'm going to fix some meatloaf. But these are so good. And just keep your top on it. If you don't have a boiler, a skillet like this, just cook it in a boiler, I guess. You put some oil in a boiler. And I call it stir-fry collards, but it's actually not. Stir-fry is when you cook something really quick and it's kind of crunchy. And these are not that. It's almost like it's a smother-fried collard. Do y'all remember the guy that, it's probably been a year ago now, maybe 2 years, that I met at the grocery store, and I'm trying to think of his name. I can't even remember. I meet so many people in the grocery store. I love it. It's like a community outing. Anyway, he told me that his grandmother had 2 really big pots next to her front steps. And every year, and it's got good dirt in it. He said there were big pots. And every year she plants collards in those pots because y'all, and you've seen me show you collard leaves. I mean, some of them are that big. They're beautiful. And they're just beautiful dark green leaves. And lots of times I buy them like that in the big bunch. But theirs didn't look good, so I bought these, the ones I saw yesterday. Anyway, he said his grandmother, he said, all my life I remember seeing those collards in that plant. You couldn't go to her house. They went through the front door, and he always passed them. So he said, I can't ever go to her house without seeing a collard. And here's what she did. He said she would go out there with the scissors, and let's say the grandmother lived alone. I don't know. He didn't tell me this part. But he said she goes out there with the scissors and just cuts a few leaves off the collards, and she comes in and cooks them for herself. And if she's going to have a big crowd, she cuts off a lot of leaves. In other words, she leaves the plant growing and just cuts off what she wants. And they continue to grow and make leaves. And he said when one gets spent, she just cuts it off at the ground, sticks that stalky thing back down in the dirt, and it grows a new collard plant. Now, y'all remember me telling you that. And then I tried it, and it worked. My mother couldn't eat a lot of collards because she took warfarin, which is a blood thinner. She took it for her heart. And And here's the reason she couldn't eat much, because they were trying to keep her blood real thin. And collards have vitamin K in it, in them. And vitamin K, it thickens your blood. So the doctor told her she could eat a couple of servings a week of the dark green leafy vegetables, but that was all. But she loved her collards, and she cooked them for us. And I cook them often because of their nutritional value. And so that's what I do. I bought me 4 sweet potatoes over here. I'm going to do something with these to go with our collards. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. I hadn't decided. But I love collards and sweet potatoes together. But I'm going to do something with them. I may just bake them like that and open them up and put the brown sugar and the butter and the cinnamon on it. I like them like that too. If I do, I'll show you how I do it. So we're going to let this just cook. And it's going to cook down. Let's see if they've cooked down any yet since we've been talking a minute. Well, maybe a little bit. So I'm going to take, I'm sorry, y'all. I try to do right. I'm going to take some of those hot collards and put them on the top and push some of those not so hot collards down there in it. This will cook down. We won't have near as much as you see right now. Oh my goodness, it'll be totally different in a little while. Ooh, there's a stem. It's so big. Let me get that thing out of there. Sometimes you'll miss one, and you'll have to get it out. There's another one I missed. I'm not doing my job right. Okay. All right, we're going to let those continue to cook down. There's a big old stem. Now, if y'all like the stems, I mean, they've got fiber. And it's not like they taste bad. It's just when I'm doing them like this, I'd have to cook them a whole lot longer to get that stem tender, and I don't want to do that today. I just want the collard, and that's it. See, they're already cooking down. This is called cooking them down. My mother would have what she liked to fix with collards, which I'm doing today. She'd fix meatloaf, some kind of sweet potato, like she'd do sweet potato casserole or baked sweet potato, something like that. Collards, little green onions or fresh onion, and she would cook cornbread, and sometimes she fixed Mexican cornbread to go with it. I told y'all, Mother always kept a diary, and in her diary, she wrote in it, I don't know, it was over 25 years that she kept one, and every day she wrote in it, and every day she told what she cooked that day. So if I get to the point of like, I don't know what to cook today, half the trouble is figuring out what to cook. It's not the cooking it, it's what am I going to cook? So I would go back and look at her diary from time to time back there it's back in the back of the house. And I'd look up the date that it was, like February 12th or whatever it happened to be. I mean, whatever. And I'd look at what she cooked, and sometimes I'll think, well, I'm going to cook that today too. It's wonderful, isn't it? And I know your mother cooked a lot, and it was so good. Your daddy probably really loved it. And I hope that when you were little, you got to sit around the table like I did growing up and talk. And they told stories and just enjoyed our dinner. Just enjoyed it so much, just gathering at the table. And now, collards don't smell good cooking in your kitchen, y'all. Some people say, oh, I'm not cooking, and they make my kitchen smell bad. Well, I'm sorry. So does shrimp and a lot of other stuff. But I love collards, and I'm not worried about how my kitchen smells. I'm going to cook them in my kitchen. And my hair, when I go out today, I'm sure I'll smell like a collard plant. We'll be back in a little bit. Hey, y'all, let's check our collards and see what they're doing. the main thing I want you to see is how they have cooked down. I told y'all that they would cook down. And look at that. We couldn't even get them in the pan a while ago. They look good and tender. You got that good onion in there. I'm going to taste them, see if they're done. See if they got enough stuff on them. Sometimes what I do is to taste them, just pick me up some like this. They are done and they're delicious. They are done. I probably cooked them maybe 35, 40 minutes. You cook yours as long as you need to. Man, those are good. They are fine, fine. I'm going to eat me a bait of these this afternoon, as George would say. So this is all you do to cook your collard. I'm going to turn them off. Make y'all some good cornbread to go with it. My hair's a mess. I've been trying aprons on and off because I had to change them. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. I pray that you'll just be blessed and that people will gather around you and that you could look for the good in everything that you look at today. Whether it be an old roach crawling across the floor. That'd be hard to look at that positive, wouldn't it? Or a cute little girl walking down the street or whatever, Lord. Just lift us up. Help us see the good in life. We love y'all. Bye-bye.